There's a big difference, although it's a very subtle one, in an ultimatum and a boundary.
Oh yeah, because that feels so much like you're actually giving permission. Like you're free. Like you take care of your needs. Like
They are free.
yeah,
The only two things we can control are our actions and our
yeah,
reactions. We can't control other people. If I want to go sleep with somebody else, you can't stop me.
no,
I mean, you could physically try to stop me, but that's probably illegal.
yeah, yeah,
So you can't stop me. So rather than stopping me, tell me what is the consequence of my actions. If you sleep with somebody else, I understand. It's going to be incredibly painful for me.
yeah,
I will probably shut down and start to withdraw from this relationship. Now I know the consequences of my action. I can make an informed decision. Do I want to go through with this?
yeah,
Is this worth it? There is a huge risk that I will lose my partner if I sleep with this other person. Now it's up to me. The ball is in my court, and we're informed as to what will happen if I do this. An ultimatum is, if you sleep with her, I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, so much harder.
It's harder, and it feels like I might just be like, yeah, well, fuck it. I'm
Yeah,
going to do it.
Yeah, and
Fuck
it doesn't.
you.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like it comes from a place of love.
It doesn't. It comes from a place of control.
Yeah.
So it's a subtle difference, right? If you sleep with her, I'm out of here. And if you have a need for sex, I understand. It's natural. And if you want to sleep with somebody else and you actually do it, I'm going to feel very unsafe in this relationship. And I'm going to feel disconnected, and I'm going to feel shut down. And it's going to bring up all these old stories about how I'm not enough. And about all the other times that I was cheated on in my life, even though this is different because you're actually telling me you're going to do it. So it's not cheating. I mean, but it would still really hurt. And I would feel, I would have a hard time staying connected with you, and I might withdraw from this relationship. Now I know the impact of my behavior on your life. It's a lot more interesting than if you sleep with her, I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels like if I was the other partner, if I were the one to sleep with someone else, if you told me what you just said, I would feel like I got a bigger understanding as well of my partner's needs, and I would feel free to like, okay, now it's up to me to make this decision. Like, am I choosing
fully informed?
Exactly.
Fully informed of the risks that you're taking and the consequences. That's so the boundary conversation is, level one of the boundary conversation is, I'd really like it if you didn't. It's important for me that you don't sleep with somebody else. And that might be all it takes. That might be enough for me to go, okay, I understand that this is important, and you've told me a little bit about why, and I respect that. That's level one. Sometimes that's enough. And sometimes there has to be a consequence that if you violate this boundary, this is what's going to happen. And sometimes the level two, the consequence happens after there's been a boundary violation. Right. So hopefully it's enough to just say, it's really important for me that you don't sleep with somebody else. And I'm going to feel very unsafe in this relationship, and it's going to be hard for me to stay connected. And then I say, okay, I understand that. And then I sleep with somebody else. Okay. Well, there wasn't a consequence in the first boundary. There was just an expression of, and then of course, now we have trust issues and we might need therapy, but that would be an appropriate time to bring in level two.
Yeah.
To say, if this happens again, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to do this to protect myself. So sometimes you'll do the boundary and the consequence, especially if it's a really important boundary. And sometimes it's enough, not every boundary needs a consequence. Let's say, for example, you use your phone while we have dinner. That really bugs me. So I could say, when you're on your phone while we have dinner, I feel like you're not really present with me. And I get sad because when growing up, we always watched TV while we had dinner and no one really talked. And I would love to just be connected. So I'd love it if you didn't play on your phone while we had dinner.
Mm.
So that might be level one, and that might be enough. And if it's really important to you, and your partner, and you continue to use your phone, if let's say it's really important to me and you continue to use your phone, I might say, I've told you this before, but every time you pick up your phone while we're having dinner, I feel
Mm.
invisible.
Mm.
And it's really sad, and brings up all these old stories about how I was never, I was the middle child, and
Mm.
my younger brother always had all of the attention, and the older one was like acting out all the time. And so I just really stayed small, and no one really talked to me at dinner. So it
Mm.
feels a little bit like that. And if you insist on continuing to use your phone while we have dinner, well, I might just go eat alone.
Mm.
I'll start eating alone, because that's kind of how it feels.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's what that consequence looks like.
Mm.
It has to be like proportional to the boundary as well.